Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a very different fractal tone tutorial for you. You're probably not going to believe me when I say it, but it is true. I'm going to teach you how to dial in an ampless, cabless guitar rig in your fractal unit. Now, I have a Fractal FM9 Turbo. I'm not sure if this will work in the FM3 just because it's kind of a long signal chain, but I think it might. So definitely give it a try. Definitely the Axe III, it will work. So again, this is an ampless, cabless guitar rig. Now, this was an inspiration from, well, it started with a comment from a subscriber on my last video, and that was the perfect amp combo for a Tele style guitar. And I used a Deluxe and a Dumble ODS 100 clean. And they're like, this is great tone. How can I get this in the FM3? And it got my brain thinking, how can you do a dual amp preset in the FM3? Like there's only one amp block, there's only one cab block. How can you get around that? That's how my brain works, especially owning the FM3 at one point, doing a lot of workarounds. Then I contacted Matt over at Fractal and I was like, how can we make that work? Could I do an amp and a cab and then maybe like an amp in a box, like in a drive block, and then some EQing? And it was like, yeah, you can do that. And then it got me thinking, oh, Cooper Carter did a video a while back on how to get kind of a customized cab using a filter block and a graphic EQ. So I kind of put all that together, and this was kind of on accident. I came up with this preset that is ampless and cabless, and you'll see what I'm talking about. We're going to use John Mayer's Who Did You Think I Was as a reference tone. This is a little bit more dirty than what he normally does, just because we're dealing with no cabs and no amps. So I'm going to take you to FM9 Edit and show you what I'm talking about. All right, everyone. So here is the signal chain. It is not crazy, but it looks crazy because there's no amps and no cabs. So let's start with the faux amp section, which is right here. The filter block and graphic EQ thing I took from Cooper Carter, and then I made my own tweaks to it since there's obviously no amp. So starting with the drive blocks, which these are going to act as kind of the preamp, we are using the compulsion distortion LP, so based on the full tone OCD pedals, and they're both the same. Let's just start with this one right here on the left. Don't forget to pan it hard left, mute, and then I just set the input select to left. Tone, didn't do anything there, nothing there. So everything is pretty much in the basics tab on that one. Then moving on to the second one, here it is, pan hard right. And I think same thing, nothing there. Yep. All right. Filter blocks. I didn't really change anything from Cooper Carter's video on this one. So set your filter blocks to low pass, fourth order, and I think just follow what you see right here. And then the graphic EQ, I guess I treated this more of like the cab, kind of the EQ curve, I guess you will. One of them you see is a little bit more scooped, and then one of them is a little bit more of a mid hump right here. So let's start on the left. You can copy these values. Don't forget to set the balance to left, hard pan left. I still set the bypass mode to mute, just a habit. And here's the right. This should actually be set to 0. Then let's go to the compressor. I put this compressor at the end of the chain just to give the amp the faux amp some feel to it using the optical compressor. And here are the values here. Gave it a little bit of bump in the level. Don't think anything was done here. Now this I stole from Austin Buddy's Steel String Singer Clean preset. Adding a Dimension 1 chorus gives it just a little bit more depth, set super low. So here are the values here. And I gave it just a little bit of level bump. Usually when you engage a chorus, you notice a little bit of a dip in volume. Nothing here. Okay, moving on to the reverb. Usually in my presets, I like to add some room level in the cap block, but we don't have that. So I just added a large room. You can change it from normal to ultra high. I'm just going to set it to ultra high just because running FM9. But if you have an FM3, definitely set it lower. Oh, I guess maybe with the FM3, maybe you can't utilize this full preset. You might have to find some workarounds because you only have 2 drive blocks. And my main reverb is the South Church. Here are the settings. Set to ultra high. And then I don't think I did anything in the EQ. So it's pretty standard right there. Now we'll call this your drive section. So going with a T808 set pretty low, bumping up the tone and the level. And then in the tone tab, I gave it quite a bit of low cut, dialed the bass back just a tiny bit, bumped up the treble. Nothing here, nothing here. And then the filter block, gave it a little bit more low shelving in the 95 hertz range. But then also kind of treated this like a, I don't know, another boost, I guess you could say. So that's why I gave it 3 dB of boost. And that is it. This is the ampless guitar rig. I'll just play a little bit for you, but hope it sounds good to you. All right, well there it is. That's the ampless, cabless guitar rig. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a try. Let me know how it worked for you. I'm using single coils here. If it's a humbucker, it might be a different story. Also on your own monitoring system, it might sound different. This was just a fun experiment just to see if it could be done. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below how you liked it. Take care, everyone.